Hey guys! Today is the video that you guys wanted to see, and I'm finally recording it because I've just been so lazy. It is the comparison review video between these two palettes and the Naked palette. I went through and I tried to find ones that matched up pretty good. I got all 12 colors matched up with one color at least in each two of these. Okay, these are by Profusion, and I said in a previous video I got these at the Dollar General, Family Dollar, something, in the gift section for $5 a piece. So that's $10 for this and $50 for this. So even if they're not exactly the same and you want to try to create the same looks as this, we got these babies. Now obviously the colors in here are more rich and more pigmented. These are more light and you have to go over a couple more times. I will say that just so you know. So let's get started. First off, I'm going to compare the colors out of these two palettes, the Bare palette from Profusion and the Naked palette. I'm not going to hold them up each time. Like, I'm not going to show you, because you can Google a picture of this and I'm too lazy. You guys know I'm too lazy for that. So I'm just going to hold them up on my fingers. I'm going to swatch them on my fingers and show you which one is which. Hope everybody's okay with that. I'm okay with that. You're okay with that. First one is Half Baked in color number 2 in the Bare palette. This is Half Baked, and this, get my head out of it. It's so bright. It's so bright. As you can tell, this one is a little bit more orange, and I tried mixing colors together to create a more half-baked type look, but they are both shiny, which is what I like about the half-baked, is that it's nice, gold, shimmery. And I use this to create the look that I usually use half-baked for. It goes pretty well. It's just not as light, and I did try to put another color over it to make it, but this is Half-Baked and color number 2 from the Bare palette. So now we have Sin on this finger and color number 6 from the Bare palette. With these two, this one is obviously more, it's lighter and more shiny. You can't see nothing. You can't see nothing. This isn't helping. But they're both a nice light shade of pink, which would go perfectly. I think out of all of them, this is the most like color. This is Virgin on this finger and color number 5 from the Bare palette. They're both a nice, I can't get my fingers the same length. I should have used these fingers. Anyway, these two are the most alike, I think. They're both the nice, light, shiny, not more matte, I guess, more matte. Also, there is, I forgot to say this earlier, but there is a color, this is the first color, this finger is the first color in the Bare palette, which is very basically, I think it's the same color as the 5th color in the Bare palette, which is, they all go together pretty nicely. If not, you can mix these two to create the Virgin from the Naked palette. And this is Sidecar in number 8 from the Bare palette. As you can tell, Sidecar is very much more pigmented than this color. If you can't tell, obviously, with any of the colors probably you won't be able to tell because my camera sucks, but they are basically the same color. It's just the Sidecar is very pigmented and this is not. With a couple swipes over, it'd probably be the same color. Let me see if I can see if you put them together, like I put more on it, and you can definitely see the same color in there. Then we have Naked from the Naked palette and color number 7 from the Bare palette, which are, I think all of the matte colors are pretty much the same color because they're easier to dupe and they just go well together. So these are basically the same color. Then we have, oh, that came off really chunky. Smooth that out a little bit. Then we have Smog and color number 10 from the the Bare palette, which these are pretty much the same. When you look in the palette, the basic palette color does look a lot lighter, but when I swatched it on my finger, they're mostly the same color, so those two go pretty well together. And then we have Buck from the Naked palette and color number 9 from the Bare palette. Buck is darker. I think if you mixed this with one of the other colors in the palette, it would create the darker look for the Buck. But I was just trying to find a color that would match with this, so you had a match for all the colors. They're not totally the same, but I think if you would add more layers onto it, these two would be more the same color. Now we're going to be going to the Smoky Eye palette and comparing what colors are the same in this one to the ones that are the same in the Naked palette. But we have Creep on this finger and color number 8 from the Smoky Eye palette. And they're almost the same. Creep has a little bit more tiny specks of glitter in it, but it's not that hard to find a shade of black that does have a little bit of sass in it that would match Creep. But those are basically almost the same color. Next we have Gunmetal in color number 9 from the Smoky palette. These are pretty much the same color. They're both a nice dark gray silver with a little bit of sparkle in it. Next we have Toasted from the Naked palette and color number 5 from the Smoky palette. The undertones are basically the same, I think. It's just that Toasted has a lot more shine to it and this color does not. But once again, like I said, this one is so much more pigmented. I'm sure if the Smoky palette was more pigmented, it would look a lot more similar to the Naked palette. Then we have Hustle on this finger and number 7 from the Smoky palette on this finger, and they match up pretty well. Because once again, they're not as shiny, they're more of a matte color with a little bit of sparkle in it, so they do match up easier together. Next up we have Dark Horse and color number 4 from the Smoky palette. This is the closest color I have in either of the sets that comes close to Dark Horse. It's a little bit lighter, but I think if you mixed it with there's nothing to mix it with, I lied. But they have the same look, you could say. It's just Dark Horse is darker. Haha. Then last, I have a repeat of one I did on the Bear palette, which is we have Sidecar and color number 3 from the Smoky palette. And I think the one in the Bear palette matches better. Like I said, this is a less shiny version of Sidecar. Sidecar is a hard color to match up to because it is such a lovely color. I use it all the time on like every eye that I do. Like my smoky eye, my regular eye, I use Sidecar. And it's just really hard to match that color, I think, in my opinion. But they match up well enough. So now I'll hold them up together. So you have the Naked palette and the Smoky palette together. And you can tell some of the colors are super similar. There's a lot of matching going on. Naked palette with the Bear palette, which has some of the lighter colors. Yeah, I think Bear has a lot of the matte colors to a T. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it kind of sucks and you can't really tell the colors because my camera's a piece of ta-ta. But hopefully this helped you guys out, and if you do want to try those Profusion palettes or whatever they are, I did get them at a dollar store. I don't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure they might have the same ones at any of them. But hopefully you enjoyed this and it helps you out if you want to try to recreate some Naked palette looks without spending all the money. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!